All right, bad news for the folks in Florida, but certainly good news for us is that there is really no change with Tropical Storm Helene. Getting better organized, which was always expected. It's starting to kind of overcome what had been some dry air and wind shear on the western side. That was kind of holding it in its strengthening through yesterday and even earlier today. But notice a lot of those thunderstorms are starting to get better developed around that core. And as that continues, intensification will also continue. Still moving more toward the northwest or west-northwest before a turn through the night and into tomorrow. That is anticipated due to kind of a shifting of the upper steering and an eventual path right toward either the northern or northeastern part of the Florida coast on Thursday. Quickly moving toward Florida's coast, really not spending much more than 24 hours in the very warm waters of the Gulf, but basically taking every opportunity for that deep warm water and a more hospitable upper environment for rapid intensification. Again, not great news, as it will be strengthening right up to the point of landfall as likely a 3, possibly even a 4. Hopefully, if there is any positive, maybe it'll make more of a landfall with the worst of the storm right around the bend, which is a far less populated, no major cities. However, this is kind of the new graphics that are being presented by the Hurricane Center this season, where it shows more of the inland threat from storms as opposed to just issuing the watches and warnings right along the coastline. And when you look at the entire state of Florida, basically the only areas not impacted by the storm, at least not the tropical storm or hurricane conditions, is the panhandle from Pensacola to Panama City and West Palm down toward Miami. The rest of the state will experience this storm from the winds and the rainfall. Obviously not as much of a flooding issue in the southeastern corner of the state, but the rest of it, including the panhandle and up toward Atlanta, has a higher risk of flooding from the storm. Here's what the upper atmosphere looks like at the moment. This was a weak upper low, but dry air and wind shear. That's starting to weaken and moving away more toward the western Yucatan. And so now it doesn't have that, which was hindering the development. Good outflow as well as strengthening expected through the Gulf of Mexico. Here's though what we are anticipating to help us out. Deepening upper trough. This is what will make that turn more toward the north and northeast. This is also blocking the storm from coming anywhere near us. And as we've been mentioning, this upper low is actually helping us out. Not that we wish this on anyone, but we are benefiting from the upper low and the broad circulation around Helene. We are getting into some much drier air. This is a look at the atmospheric moisture, getting rid of rainfall chances as well as much of the way of cloud cover, but also bringing down a much more comfortable feel as we had late into Thursday, but Friday into Saturday, Thursday into Friday and Saturday, it is going to feel a whole lot nicer. Maybe I'll say a slight taste of fall, but the humidity will be coming quite a bit down throughout the day, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, kind of back on the rise and then coming down a bit as we head toward next Tuesday. Really a fairly pleasant end to September and start to October. Now, before that happens, we may see a few spotty to scattered showers tomorrow with kind of that initial surge. This is a weak front boundary moving in, so about a 30–40% chance for some showers during the day tomorrow, and then that drier air moving in late Wednesday night and into the day on Thursday. As Helene continues to move northward, again, some very heavy rainfall is anticipated throughout the overnight hours of Thursday into early Friday. So for folks making plans to head to Atlanta for this weekend, you may want to have to time it a little bit because of the rainfall moving through. If you wanted to head up early, beat the storm, and kind of have to go through the storm in Atlanta, the issue is a lot of folks probably trying to head out during this time frame of Thursday into Friday. Flooding is definitely going to be a concern in Atlanta, and the airport delays, and we know any kind of an airport delay in Atlanta kind of disrupts the entire nation. So that may be an issue. Weather will be improving by Saturday, but who knows what the airport conditions are going to be like in Atlanta. So that's really the issue as we approach the weekend. Game day will be fine on Sunday. It'll be kind of leading up to it that we're getting that heavy rainfall in Atlanta. Not for us. 88 tomorrow with a spotty to scattered rain chance, then beautiful weather for our Thursday, Friday, and even into Saturday. I kind of take out the wording for less humid, but still pretty comfortable for the entirety of the weekend. And as we start October on Tuesday, that less humid air returns.